What's up, guys? It's me, it's CGV, and today a box has shown up and we will see what is inside. Riftbound League of Legends trading card game from Riot Games here on the channel. What's in the box? Let's find out. We got some bubble wrap, the highlight of every single box opening. And then we've got a sealed booster box of Riftbound Origins. We're going to open that right up for you in just a moment. Let's see what else to put in the haul. We got some sleeves, some specialty sleeves. Ah, the box almost fell. I better hold the box. All right, sleeves. More sleeves. More sleeves. So I don't play League of Legends. I don't know who a lot of these characters are. But I know they look pretty. I know the art is something. This is a champion deck. We get one of the champion decks, Lee Sin. The champion decks are just ready to rumble right out of the box. There's Jinx. That's going to be Gina's deck for sure. She loves Jinx. Victor, bit of a fan myself from what I've played of the game so far. Really like that one. So 3 challenger decks. And we have Proving Grounds. This is a right out of the box 4-player experience that is ready to go. It's meant for people starting the game with 2 to 4 players and is a product that will be available in stores. So we're going to switch to the other. We're going to get this camera set up to point that way, and we're going to open some of these up and show them off right here. Let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. Okay, getting into the packs. Let's go. My first pack of Riftbound. The first game I've been into since day one, probably ever. I don't think I've ever been here for the first pack of any trading card game. I don't believe, so let's give it a shot. Packs are tight. Okay, Wheel of Wonder, consult the past. Let's get to the shinies. Looking for either cards I recognize. Oh, there's some foils. Okay, a foil Stupefy. Played that plenty. Vengeance, I've seen that one. Ooh, Kaisa, Daughter of the Void. Yeah, I believe this was Prof's card. Those of you who don't know probably do know, but you should check it out. Shuffle Up and Play, featuring Riftbound. I actually got to do the first Shuffle Up and Play featuring Riftbound with Prof on his channel, Tolarian Community College. Highly recommended. A really fun game. Awesome to do a gameplay show before the set even came out. And we got a Battlefield, Star-Tipped Peak, Unyielding Spirit. Oh, we got a foil Faithful Manufactor, which was something Amy played a lot. We got a foil Ari. Oh yes, this was Skara's card. Skara's Leda, Blind Fury. And we got a Mind Rune. All right, you do need the runes. I can't play without the runes, although I'm assuming there are plenty in these decks that I'm going to open up. Okay, I gotta get scissors. Yeah, I'm not gonna mangle the cards this way. Magma Worm, big powerful card. We got Student, Ballista. There's a foil Clockwork Keeper, a foil Carnivorous Snapvine. I like how many foils we get. Convergent Mutation, and there's a Sprite. For those of you wondering about general like card quality, they are all pretty thick. Like, it feels thicker than I'm used to in a pack. The cards are definitely thicker than I'm used to. Let's see. So Convergent Mutation reaction, play anytime, choose a friendly unit, increase its might until it equals the might of another friendly unit. Yay! All right. go big or go home with that card. So if you want to see, I do recommend, my friends have made some good videos, but particularly Prof has a how to play Riftbound video. I think it was like 14 minutes long. And then there's the gameplay episode. And if you watch the gameplay episode, honestly, it flows pretty fast. I picked up this game. I thought my days of like learning games were over. We got a Nevori fighting pit. When you hold here, buff a unit. Yep. And honestly, I picked this game up really easily without a lot of like hand holding, and had a really good time. Like, you can get into it pretty quick. The gameplay itself is good, I would say, from the start. We got Timo, which is a scout. That's a 1 might for 2. You can hide it, and when you play me, give me +3. Ooh, so you hide this at a location, then they go there, you flip it over, and it gets +3 might. So 4 might is actually a lot for an early play. So that'll probably win a showdown. And again, I don't know much specifically about League, but I do know a few things about card games. I've been known to dabble in the occasional card game, and I found a lot of the interactions and in the 4-player a bit of the politicking very interesting. When you conquer here, ready 2 units. We got the Daring Poro in foil. I'm always looking for the foils, by the way. Albus Pharaohs. When you play me, spend any number of buffs. Okay. Buff, make thing big, and then another Timo. But you're really looking for the leaders. And some, there's a few over cards. There's some really fun stuff to collect in this set. We'll see if we can pull some of it. We got a Falling Comet, Raging Firebrand, and there you go. We've got a legend. This is Yasuo, which moves a friendly unit to or from your base. That is a good one. Very shiny. Can indeed be running your deck. The movement from base to location and then ganking, going from battlefield to battlefield to score points, is one of the cool things about the deck, and about the game rather, and it really leans into it. You got the Dreaming Tree. First time you choose a friendly unit spell here each turn, draw 1. First time you choose a friendly unit with a spell here each turn, draw 1. So you have to have a unit here, then you choose it with a spell. Huh. So good with buffs. Mushroom Patch. At the start of your beginning phase, if you control a face down card at a battlefield, draw 1. Love that. Then Primal Strength, +7 might. That's a lot of might. And Malzahar, champion unit. So kill a friendly unit or gear, so like a sacrifice deck. Add 2, what do they call them? Runes to energy, I think. On your turn in a showdown, abilities that add resources can't be reacted to. Use on your turn or in showdowns. Okay, so we demand sacrifice. It's very much a sacrifice card, but obviously sounds very cool. And then we have a Seal of Rage, which is a way to make your energy without having to recycle your runes, which if we get into gameplay, you'll see. Let's see, keywords: accelerate, hidden, legion, assault shield, turn, definitely reflects, ganking, temporary vision. I'm just seeing the thing I always need reminders on is the terms for like energy. I know how to ready and channel my runes, but as far as like reading the cost, find your center. If an opponent scores within 3 points of the victory score, this costs 2 less. Draw 1 and channel 1 rune exhausted. That's pretty good. That's I mean, obviously later in the game, hoping the game doesn't take too long, but you do need to draw cards for cheaper. So I like the mechanic of when the opponent is close to winning, it's cheaper. Ride the Wind, the card well, in case you haven't seen it yet, We'll talk about it later. Hidden Blade, good removal. We got Hollowed Tomb. When you hold here, you may return your chosen champion from your trash to your champion zone if it is empty. That's pretty cool. Unlike in Magic's Commander format, where you can cast your champion over and over, you get your champion, you play it from your champion zone once. If it dies, it dies. So this can get it back. The Siren, move a friendly unit from at a battlefield to the base. Can be a good way to save a unit if it's going to lose a showdown. Like the Bouncer, I got to play with the Bouncer a few times. Karthus, Eternal. Your death knell effects trigger an additional time. What could go wrong with triggering effects an additional time? And then Ravenborn Tome. The next spell you play deals 1 bonus damage. Okay. A little extra damage increase from the tome. You don't need my mouse light like plugging up the screen, right? Orb of Regret. Give -1 this turn to a minimum of might. That's might, right? Yeah, I think that's might. Defy. Dude, they counter spells in green in this game. But green isn't like green. I'm probably more of a green player in this game. It's just interesting that they have an effect that counters a spell in what I associate with green. Gust, return a unit. Yep, that is Bounce, Call the Weak. Yeah, each player kills one of their units. This can hit in the base, which is what makes this card very, very powerful. Usually the base is a safe place to have your units, which is why you see cards that return them to base. Choose a friendly unit and an enemy unit, and they fight each other. Makes sense. Mask of Foresight. When a friendly unit attacks or defends alone, give it a bonus. Stacked deck. Also not going to spoil a shuffle up and play, but you might want to watch it. This is a lot like in Magic, it's strategic planning. I think does almost exactly what this does. And then Vilema's Lair. Units can move from here to base. And then our foils, we got the Size Scout. We got Spell Gorger. Anytime you play me, you may play a unit from your trash, ignoring its energy cost. Nice. I do like that. It is expensive. It's very expensive, but it comes with a reanimation. And we have Sona. This is a champion unit, so it can start in your champion zone. She is appealing. When I'm at a battlefield, ready 4 friendly runes at the end of your turn. So it also lets you take runes you've already used, and as long as this is at a battlefield, you get to ready those runes again, like untapping them so you can use them for instant speed effects. That sounds like somebody I would make my champion as I get more into the game. Let's just say I will play green if in this game it means I get to do instant speed stuff. There is no question. I will do what I have to do to say in response as many times as possible. So if this is your first time looking at Riftbound cards, I've had a few, just to give you context. I was at the Riftbound Summit where they showed the game to some number of creators in the room, between 30 and 50 creators. It's hard to remember how many were there. That was back in May. I got to see the cards for the Shuffle Up and Play event, and now I'm seeing these cards. So there are a lot of cards I still don't know, but I got to see a lot of the cards from the original set well in advance. The next unit you play this turn enters ready. We love that. Basically dishing out haste in a way, to use Magic terms here and there. Catalyst of Aeons, channel 2 runes exhausted. If you couldn't channel 2 runes, draw 1. Okay, that's a ramp card. Excellent. Another Ravenbound Tome, and wow, Radiant Dawn. This is Leona. When you stun 1 or more enemy units, buff a friendly unit. Well, that sounds kind of a combo interactive type thing where you slow their stuff down and yours get bigger and stronger. That is pretty cool, and it's a legend, so that can lead a deck. And then we have Ari. Ooh, Inquisitive. When I attack or defend, give a unit -1 might. Very hard one to beat, so that's a champion unit, and that was Skara's champion, although I may have to be trying out Ari because Ari got to play Defy, and that's very much my style. Ari must be the the cat's pajamas, we'll say, in League of Legends, because she's also on the cover art and such. Got a Cruel Patron. 4 for 6, kill a friendly unit. Units you play enter ready, draw 1. We did the Candlelit Sanctum, which I know this one, this is the one that works very well with the deck that I played on Shuffle Up and Play. You gain to look at your top cards and put them back or put them on the bottom. Kind of scrying like. Get Excited, discard 1, deal its energy cost and damage to a unit. So it's a removal spell, but you have to discard to do it. Quiana. Oh gosh, how wrong am I, guys? Be nice in the comments. Quiana Victorious, and this has Deflect. When I conquer, draw 1 or channel 1 rune exhausted. Love that. An opponent basically must pay something similar to a ward cost, where they must use a might or an energy. They must recycle an energy to choose this with a spell or ability. And then for a whopping 10, we get Volibear Furious, which this is in, I believe, one of the like ramp decks. When I attack, deal 5 damage split among any number of enemy units where it attacks. And opponents must pay double energy to choose this, so another ward type effect. Very cool. I have knowledge of some of the overcards and the most chased cards, and I'm confident if I get one, I'll know it based on what I saw. They definitely jumped off the page, but let me know if I hit something. I know the Worlds happened in China and the prices of a lot of cards shot up. I really don't know where the prices are at this point. When you hold here, if you have 7+ units, you win the game. It's an alt win con. Don't tell Amy about the Grand Plaza. Progress Day, draw 4. I'll take it. King's Edict. I remember this card. No spoilers for Shuffle Up, but it was definitely used there and had a big effect. So foil of that. Fun. More Find Your Center. Then we got Obelisk of Power. At the start of each player's beginning phase, they channel 1 more rune. That is a really fun ramp-tastic battlefield. Face Breaker. Hidden, and then the action stun a friendly unit and an enemy unit at the same battlefield, which means they don't deal combat damage this turn. Kog'Maw, Caustic Champion. This says deal 4 to all units at that battlefield, so fun way to blow up a lot of things. Only 1 might, but only 3 to play. And then Blitzcrank, Impassive, has tank. I must be assigned combat damage first. And when you play me at a battlefield, you may move an enemy unit to here. Ooh, so you make it fight. And when I hold, return it to owner's hand. Sure. So that'll get some battlefields going in your favor. That'll score you some points, I guess is what they want to say in this game. And our land grove. Oh, perfect. When you hold here, draw a card. Should always be the most contested battlefield. Then we have Brinehair Thundersong. When you play me, opponents can't play cards this turn. Relentless Storm Volibear. This is the legendary Volibear for the ramp deck. When you play a mighty unit, you may exhaust me to channel 1 rune exhausted, and a mighty unit has 5+ might. And then we have a very fun ramp legend in the legend zone. And then we have Super Mega Death Rocket, which deals 5 to a unit. And when you conquer, you may discard a card to return this from trash to hand. I use this this is Jinx's signature spell. And I was able to use this to win a very exciting game that I got to play with Simo at one point. Highly recommend the Super Mega Death Rocket. It lives up to the name. Worthy experience. Then let's see what else we've got. The land is the Bandle Tree. You may hide an additional card here. Nice. And then Pouty Poro. Then we got the Nine-Tailed Fox Ari. I believe I had one of these earlier, but this looks like a different treatment, yeah? Or no, this is a different one. When an enemy unit attacks a battlefield you control, give it -1. Yeah, this is the one that Scara had as the legend. Nice. And Mistfall. When you buff a friendly unit, you may pay energy and exhaust this to ready it. I see. So when you do a buff, this can then attack, or it's gear. It's gear. When you buff a friendly unit. Oh, to ready it. So you ready the unit. So it's kind of a way to ready your units. Yeah, I haven't played much with gear. That was one that I didn't get a lot of experience with, but... Charm. Saw a lot of charm, a lot of moving units around. Then we have Fortified Position. When you defend here, choose a unit, gain shield 2. Thermo Beam, kill all gear. Well, that's why I don't play gear, guys. You just destroy it. Recycle 3 from your trash and 1 and exhaust this to draw 1. I'm always going to be working on my terminology. You're going to have to be patient. Tap, exhaust. It takes getting used to. I have all exhaust abilities of all friendly legends, units, and gear. So that is, I do know, I know, gosh, why is it so hard for me to remember Arcane? Heimendinger. But I know this one, and I guess this is the champion unit. And then we have the Harness Dragon. When you play me, kill an enemy unit. Big dragon blows up stuff. Heidinger. I think that's it. I think that's right. Spirit's Refuge. When I play this, buff a friendly unit. Friendly buffer units have deflect if they didn't already. Okay. Is it divvying out some wardies. Solari Shrine. When you kill a stunned enemy unit, you may exhaust this to draw 1. Interesting. There's a whole stun archetype I haven't really explored or played against yet. Champion unit Iona. Kane Unleashed. Ganking. I can move from battlefield to battlefield. If I have moved twice this turn, I don't take damage. And it's got 6 might. So that can just walk from battlefield to battlefield. So moving it once would be moving it to a battlefield. Then if you can ready it again, it can move to another battlefield, start a showdown. It doesn't take damage, and it probably kills whatever is there because it's huge. And then we get a Seal of Unity. That's a pretty darn monstrous card. And moving right to it. Sprite Mother, Void Seeker, deal 4 to a unit, draw 1. Love that. Commander Ledros. This is a spirit. Shadowy Isles. Very expensive. Oh my gosh, look what you have to recycle. But it's got 8 might. As you play me, you may kill any number of friendly units as an additional cost to reduce the recycle for each one you killed. Opponents have to pay energy because it has deflect and it has ganking. So it is a big ganking, hard to deal with, above rate monster. And if you're willing to get rid of some of your own stuff, like maybe in Amy's deck from Shuffle Up and Play, where you make a bunch of tokens, then this would probably clear a lot of battlefields. And then I have Tide Turner. You hide this card. When you play me, you may choose a friendly unit, move me to its location and it to my original location. That's kind of wild. So you hide it at a battlefield, the opponent starts a showdown, and you can swap this with another friendly unit, and now they're having a showdown with a monster they didn't intend to have a showdown with. Woo, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, this is the Ripple rune, or yeah, the textured rune. 1 per box, they said. I got a chaos one. Yeah, those two look nice. That's pretty cool. I bet people are definitely going to try to trip out their decks, bling out their decks with the all shiny runes. And what do we have here? Orb of Regret. Give a unit -1. I've seen that. The Harrowing. Play a unit from your trash ignoring its energy cost. That is just strictly like reanimate. And then Tasty Fey Folk from Bandle City. Anyway, 6 might, accelerate 1 and as an additional cost, and channel 2 more exhausted runes and draw 1. That's when it dies. Okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a good death knell effect. Look at that. Look at that face. Look at that funny card. Cards. Love opening cards. Fury of Blades. 1 damage to all units, all battlefields for 1. Basic. Nice basic card. Trindamere something. It's 8 might. When I conquer after an attack, if you assigned 5 or more excess damage to enemy units, you score 1 point. So wait again, another point. You never stood a chance. Good text. And a seal of strength. Excellent. I think we'll have all the seals. We're gonna have a good number of seals. I wonder how people have cracked like using the seals, because at first I thought you wanted to use them all the time no matter what, but because they can only pay recycle costs, very specific costs, like how many seals is the right number of seals? Recycle 3 from your trash, draw 1. Okay, kill a unit with vengeance. Discipline, give +2 and draw 1. Yeah, pretty good little buff. And there are showdowns so often that buffs right now do feel to help, although buff is something different. It's like a permanent plus. This is a temporary one, but it's also a cantrip. Herald of the Arcane Victor. Yep, recruit a token. This is what Simo and I tried to build around on day 1. We both built token decks, almost creatureless, with a lot of draw and removal. Go figure. Udyr is a Wildman champion unit. Spend my buff. So you want to put buffs on it, starting there. Choose 1 you've not chosen this turn. Deal 2 to a unit at a battlefield. Stun a unit at a battlefield. Ready me or give ganking. So all kind of conquering champion stuff. Not like card draw. Not like grinding value. Just good score point kind of aggro stuff. It's a good champion. I have not seen that champion in action. I like all the options. One thing that I found on a lot of champions is it was clear what the plan was, you know, like a good commander, but it wasn't quite, there wasn't a lot of flexibility, and the plans were pretty easy to mess with if you wanted to. That's why I like the 4-player variant a lot, because people don't have time just to mess with your plans, whereas 1v1 messing with plans I thought was kind of easy to do. Playful Phantom. This is 5/4/5. That's that. The Thousand-Tailed Watcher. What a card, especially in the multiplayer game. What a card. When you play me, give enemy units -3 might this turn. I mean, then this being a 7 might card with accelerate so that it can move when it enters your base. Oh my gosh, it just goes straight to battlefields and can wipe out so many things. It can wipe out so much stuff that it is kind of deceptive how good this card is. And then we got the Machine Evangel, which is also a funky little card. You can recruit more and more tokens to the base. It's fine in the sacrifice and recruiting decks. It is very possible to make a ton of tokens. It is also very possible to make a very, very large champion. Like the deck, the strategies do seem really supported out of the gate. I'm very curious what will rise to the top quickly. Misfortune. Well, there's one of the cards from my deck. You may play me to an open battlefield. And then we have Mage Seeker Warden. When I'm at a battlefield, opponents can only play units at their base. When I'm at a battlefield, spells and abilities can't ready enemy units and gear. It's like a stacks piece. That's fun. And then what do we have here? Look at this. Dragon's Rage. Lee Sin. Signature spell. Move an enemy unit, then choose another enemy unit at its destination. Deal damage equal to their mights to each other. So one of them goes away, then they fight each other, presumably killing the other, possibly leaving a base that had 2 units in it, regardless of size, wide open for you to go score the point. That is a nasty, nasty signature spell. And then one more pack here for my first box of Riftbound. Disintegrate, Falling Comet, Engarde, Sneaky Deckhand, Call to Glory, Challenge, Undercover Agent, Singularity, Windwall, Mystic Poro. Ooh, we got a shiny Battlefield Altar to Unity. When I hold here, you can recruit a token. Yep, good in the token deck. And Falling Star, do this twice, 3 damage to a unit. Good removal spell. All right, guys, that is the first sealed box of Riftbound, but the video's not quite done. We're going to open some of the other decks and sleeves and show those off, but let me know what you think of my box. Like, what's the big hitter in my box? What should I build for my first Riftbound deck out of some of the cards I've opened as far as building my own deck? Let's see. Clean up, clean up, clean up. Actually, scratch that. I've changed my mind. We're going to open up and reveal these champion decks in another video. So if you want to see what's in the champion decks, and if you want an inside look at the product proving grounds, stay tuned. We'll have a separate video on the channel for those. Thank you guys for enjoying. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of Riftbound, what you think of my box, what my best card is. See you in the next video. You're cool.